Another load of wood chips being dropped off, and it's I don't know what's going on. They're putting them all on his property, so he's got a tractor. He can move them over here if he wants to. I'll have to hopefully catch him, and he'll drive by at some point today. But yeah, more wood chips, and I'll talk more about that later today. I'm just waking up. Good morning from Bobblehead Homestead. I'm Jeff. Today is Tuesday. Supposed to hit 70 degrees today. It's probably already in the 60s this morning. Very, very nice. It is windy, and I do not have a wind filter. Sorry about the wind noise in the last video. That's one thing it annoys me. Excessive wind noise annoys me, so I will be trying to avoid that. Anyway, and I always used to say, and always use a wind filter at the end of my videos. Of course, that was back when I was, inside my mobile home in Illinois all the time and never had to worry about filming outdoors when it's windy. Enough about that. I'm on top of the world today. I am just on top of the world. And so, where do I start? Let's start with wood chips. Some explanations based on comments. Cool. I'm learning. Thank you. That is a bulldozer. I am standing here at the northeastern corner of my property where I meet the cool neighbor with the cows. Bulldozer man. He's Bulldozer man. Just giving you a little panoramic view of what is not my property, but there's the first pile of wood chips. That's the one they just delivered this morning, and that's the one they delivered yesterday. Original thought was to put the wood chips back in there because it is, well, that's getting some pretty good morning sun. Well, anyway, the thought was I wouldn't make it all the way back there to plant this year. So the wood chips would be a good brush deterrent until I was able to get back there and plant. But they can't get their truck back there. So they are just going to put the wood chips, the next two loads are going to go right in here to the, right in here between the bulldozer and my electric fencing. And you go with the flow and go with what hands you. So I'll be using the wood chips up here, and what I'll do is put the chickens in there. So one person brought up that wood chips are they invite cockroaches. Well, fine, chickens eat cockroaches. That's free food. And they will spread them out. So you saw the height of those piles. I bet you they will have those wood chips spread out in no time. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with at least two of the piles, is put them in here, put the electric fencing around it, and let the chickens spread it out for me. Now I'm going to pause and talk about wood chips. Alright, I was yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever the video came out on the wood chips, I was talking about wood chips, and I should put a big old disclaimer, like Old Camp Ranch. I love that disclaimer of his. I am not an expert. Don't do what I do. Don't listen to what I say. Always, if you know better, you know better. So I'll do that disclaimer. I'm not an expert on the biological decomposition of wood chips. I'm just repeating what I've what I thought I've learned. So I may have misrepresented things. I may have been wrong. Who knows? One thing, part-time permies. Oh, and I already forgot. And another comment. Listed experience. Their experiences with wood chips. And one common thing, I wasn't completely wrong, I might have been part wrong, but wood chips will absorb nitrogen. So it's where the wood chips meet the soil, that's where the problems will be. And if you mix in the wood chips with the soil, you know, that can be a problem. And then Cindy at Part-Time Permies mentioned that the you know, it's the fungal activity that's different when you add wood chips that may affect plants. So, you know, there are so many variables when it comes to gardening that you know, the one piece of advice I was probably accurate on was you have to be careful when you're using wood chips. So, you know, back to Eden gardening does work for a lot of people. So I'm not saying don't try it. I'm just saying there's so many variables involved that just be careful with it. One thing I do know is that the older the wood chips are, the more they have started to decompose and will turn into nutrients and soil for your plants. So that, I think, is a proven fact, is that the older they are, the better they are for your gardens, because they're decomposing and turning into soil. So I just, you know, I'm no expert. I'm no expert. And read my comments. So oftentimes there will be experts who correct me when I'm wrong in the comments. So I do appreciate that. And I'm probably not making any sense right now. Anyway. Wood chips, I think, are good. What were some of the, well, somebody said cockroaches. Yeah, if you have to worry about cockroaches, then yeah, they will do that. Oh, fires, yes. Well, and here's where my biology, I could have used more biology, but I believe it's that's the bacteria and organisms are breaking down those wood chips or whatever materials are in there, and that's creating the heat, and that's why you can find these, you know, really long thermometers, compost pile thermometers, and you can measure, and it gets up, you know, like 160 to 180 degrees in there. But yeah, spontaneous combustion, they could catch on fire. These wood chips are nowhere near anything that's going to catch on fire, so I am not worried about that to the point where I'm going to come out here and shovel them to turn them over. Now, if the chickens were on there, but see, the chickens will be spreading it out and allowing the heat to disperse. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about a fire where they are right now, or, you know, we'll see where the future ones come. But that is a concern. It will heat up, and you never know. It can catch on fire. I'm not worried about that here. They're not close to anything that's gonna go. I mean, even the grass. It'd have to, well, and it's been raining so much lately that, yep, safe on the fire front. But that is, you know, that is something that can happen. Maybe not that often, but it can happen. Oh, this whole thing's going to be about wood chips, isn't it? No, it's not, because I'm getting ready for something that, see, I keep doing this. One more thing about wood chips that I'm noticing in this is there are a lot of pine needles. So they've been cutting down a lot of pine trees. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the pine needles are lower the pH. So that's something you might want to take into consideration when using wood chips, is what are they made of? Is there a lot of pine needles in it? And in that case, that will lower the pH, which is not great for some plants. It is great for other plants. I believe, you know, some types of berry bushes, they enjoy the lower pH, but other plants want it more neutral, around 7. So yeah, something else to consider, and that I'll have to think about, because there's a lot of pine in there. And in the where the chickens are right now, there were a lot of pine needles. There were. They've crushed them all to dust for the most part. So, you know, that's someplace where I won't want to plant things that don't like a lower pH, but I might want to do berries or something. Although the chickens will be going in and out of this area, so I probably won't plant anything there except for like a ground cover. And I'll have to do my research on what ground covers like soil with a lower pH because of the pine. All right, so today, Bulldozer Man, super cool neighbor with the bulldozer and the tractor and the cows and the wild hogs. Yeah, he's over. He is using his tractor to pick up the stumps and rocks and stuff that he had piled up earlier, and he's using those to fill a low spot on his property over in here. And then on his trip back, he's brilliant. He is getting a load of wood chips and putting them towards the back of that space where I just told you that the wood chip truck couldn't go. So back in there. And yeah, stuff is always happening around here. Kind of stuff I'm picking up today: broken glass and aluminum cans and all kinds of stuff. Yep, picking up trash. It's what I do here at Bobblehead Homestead. I have probably been through this area 3 times already picking up trash. I don't know how many bags of trash I've picked up out here, but it's now or never with the wood chips coming in. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just kind of going with the flow here, and wherever the wood chips end up. And he's the dude with the tractor and the bulldozer and the connection. So I will, I'll figure out a way to make it work. Yeah. Hi, Fifi, following me everywhere I go. I am basically behind the mobile home. It's right there, and well, you can't see it through this brush. I'm at the end of the area where we've been putting the wood chips, where it's cleared out. But I just want to show you with what I'm contending with back here. And this is just the start of it. Let me see if I can get to the big pile over there. Okay, here's the pile. And he's pushed brush in there above it. But there's 2 TVs, 3 TVs I see, furniture, the big old, it's like the drum of a washing machine, windows, and then just trash. And it goes all the way over there. So it's a good 30-40 feet long. There's an old cooler. Yeah, it's a good 30-40 feet long and 10 feet wide of that and bigger stuff. So it doesn't have to be done today. One TV, there's another TV back there. There's an old plastic tub, an old cooler, just everything. Here's an old radio. Hey Fifi, are you having fun exploring the property with me? You always seem to follow along. You're such a good little girl. Grumpy's outside today. I don't know where he's at. Bob's inside. Maybe Grumpy will come out later. Aerosol cans. Tin cans. Something covered in ants. Oh, a telephone. Bottle. plastic bottle, tin can, glass jar. That might be it for this Tuesday as far as me filming goes. It's probably like 2. Yeah, so it's time for lunch on a nap. And I've got some computer research to do. And, oh man, and I've got to edit yesterday's video with a truckload of surprises for me. Yeah, there was a truckload of them. I kid you not. Well, you've already seen that if you're watching this one. Unless you missed it, in which case, yeah, you'll find it. Okay, everybody, take her easy and don't litter the earth, please.